All right, we are live, or we should be. It's always the question when I go live, did it actually work? So I'm here by myself tonight, but thank you guys so much for joining me. We are doing an East Coast meet up update. So let's talk about the world right now. So the world is crazy. It's insane. Gas prices are through the roof. Travel is insane. So with a lot of people not traveling for 2 years because of COVID or, slowing down their travel, now everybody wants to travel, and it is driving prices up, like skyrocketing prices. It's redonkulous. So have some bad news, but have some good news, have some uncertain news, but we have news. And that's the most important part, is that we have news. So I guess to start off, let's get to the disappointing news. So I know when we did the first show, people were kind of excited about Nashville being a possibility. And hold on, I got to click on something over here. So Nashville is not a possibility. And let me show you why. Okay. So Nashville is just straight out too expensive to be downtown in Nashville, where all the cool clubs and all the cool restaurants and the cool vibes. Like, look at some of those hotel prices, and that's in September. Now, I was checking out July, I was checking out all of September, all of October. Nashville has so many things going on in September. I mean, so many things going on in September. It's ridiculous. So I had put out I had a calendar of all the events and big things to, kind of ignore. And I still could not find reasonable hotel rates in downtown. And the goal is to have everybody as close together as possible. So I know some of our community has the means to make a night at $400, $600 work, but most of our community does not. So therefore, we gave Nashville the axe. We will not be going to Nashville this year. So before I go on and tell you some of the options that we do have, let me just go through the room. I know I already said hello to a couple people. I know Apollo is in the house and Rudy Green. Hey guys, what's up? Treasure Warriors, Ben and Ashley. Hey, Ashley, I miss you, by the way. Are you ready for tomorrow? Tomorrow our thing starts, so I'm excited about that. Let's go for a walk. Hey, Santa Claus. Adam, all the way from the UK, is here tonight. Packer Jack. Hey, Packer Jack. Mike. Hi, Mike. How are you doing? Jeremy. Yes, East Coast representing. We're gonna finally get this East Coast meetup and make it happen. Larry Sindell's here. Holy, what's up, girl? All right, so that's just kind of where we're at. No Nashville. It saddens me because I know we would have had so much fun in Nashville, but it's okay, because here's the thing about our community. We have fun no matter where we go. Doesn't matter what's going on in the world or even in the community. When we get together, we have fun. So here are some of the things. So I've explored other options. Some of the things that I've considered while exploring, just so you know, like all the things I was looking at. Number one was proximity to a major airport with a low Uber taxi cost to wherever we are. That was super important. So I was looking at some cities, and the airports were a lot farther away from like downtown or different like activity centers and other places. Or just Uber rates were crazy. So like there is one of the options tonight, depending on the time of day. So this girl is extra. Like I've been checking out Uber rates throughout the entire day, just to make sure that there weren't peak times that might screw things up. And of course, with Uber, there's always peak times, but I've been trying to make sure it's consistent. So there is one of our options, like during rush hour. Like I just checked it maybe an hour ago again, and it was up to like $40. But most of the time it's been 20 to 25. So, but that has been an important thing. So I'm trying to think of everybody's pocketbook and piggy banks, because I know a lot of you guys have to budget for this. Some people will work overtime, people will do things to come to these events, and I don't want it to make it, hold on, I got an itch in the center of my back. I don't want to make it expensive for you guys. So the next thing that I looked at was, of course, low cost lodging, so more people can participate. So no $300 hotel rooms, no extravagant luxuries, like something that the average person, even, even if they have to partner up with 2, 3, 4 other people and share a hotel room, can afford. So that was really, really important. The last thing, something to do. So we don't want to go someplace and just be in one hotel in the middle of nowhere just because it's cheap, right? Like we need, options. We need things to do because we are people who like to do stuff. And we are also a group that has very vast backgrounds. We come from all over the country, we come from all over the world, and we have a lot of different interests. So it has to be something that people can go off and be by themselves and find other things to do, not in a group setting. Like, yes, we want the meetups, we want to hang out together at certain points. But like in Vegas, I went off and went and did a show by myself. Other, like a group of us went and did the Haunted Museum. Lots of people showed up from one event and then we never saw or heard from them again. Like it was like they came and they went and, they were just mysterious like that. So we need things for people to do if they're going to come here. So what are the options, right? Well, just so you know, we have 2 options to choose from. And both of those options will end up being one of the last 2 weekends in September. So that's when we're going to do it. Shouldn't be too hot, shouldn't be too cold. But those are our options, the last 2 weekends in September, kind of keeping it flexible just to make sure prices don't change or fluctuate between when we actually decide and when I actually go to book or start doing things. So ready for option number 1? Option number 1, anybody? Option number 1 is Baltimore, Maryland at Arundel Mills Mall. I know it's really close to me, but when I was complaining about, I think online or someplace about how Nashville just wasn't going to work out, people were like, why don't just have it in Baltimore? So we don't want to actually have it inside of Baltimore because Baltimore is kind of farther away from the airport, more expensive Uber. Yes, people could take mass transit. We do have like, I think it's the light rail that goes into Baltimore from the airport, but Arundel Mills Mall is kind of a cool place. So it is this large mall. Actually, I got some pictures here. It's a large mall, epic mall. It's got a huge movie theater. It has like medieval's time. It has a Dave and Buster's. And what a lot of people in this community like, it has a casino right next to it. And the casino actually just built a hotel. So you could technically stay there at live at the hotel itself. So here are some of the perks of having it in Baltimore. For one, there's a lot of hotels around the mall itself. Plus you also have the casino hotel, and hotel prices, I think I saw as low as like 108, 116. If you have a AAA discount, you could probably get it, even lower or, great. And that was for like a Friday, Saturday night, because those are the nights I was looking at and pricing out. So low hotel costs and options are always good. And the mall sits like inside of a circle, and then the hotels are kind of around it. So, you can easily just walk across the street and make it to the mall or to the casino. So it's not like you have to travel far distances or get an Uber if you want to head over to an event that maybe we have in the casino, or maybe we all meet up at Dave and Buster's, in the middle of day of Saturday or something. Like none of the events have been planned because I don't know where anything's going to be at, but those are just some ideas. I think there's also like a food court in Arundel Mills Mall. We could always just meet up there for lunch or something. And then people have cheap food options that they can choose from there as well. Plus, I think there's like shopping. I'd have to check to see where the local liquor store is. In Maryland, you can't buy beer in gas stations. We're working on it as a state, but not currently available. But I know there are gas stations around there too for like, cheap junk food and whatever. So the mall has lots of food options. There's entertainment. I already mentioned some of that stuff. If you like shopping, you can go shopping, and there's some nice stores in that mall too. And it's only a $20 Uber ride from the airport. I think the most I've seen through different peaks of the day was $25. So that was pretty awesome. So cheap to get from the airport to the mall, because just going to throw this out there right now. I am not as nice as Christy and Mike. I will not be Ubering and shuttle people from the airport because, well, I'm just me. I don't have extra people to go do that. So I don't have a mic. I don't have a mic to go shuttle people to and from the airport. So you have to make it to the event venue by yourself somehow. But it's not that far away, close to the airport. And there's also an Amtrak station right there at the airport too. So like BWI, it's like this big cluster. There's an Amtrak station. So if you don't like flying, you can always take the train. So that is an option with this location. It's also really close to DC, Baltimore, and Annapolis for extended adventures. For instance, if you take the $20 Uber back to the train station, you can hop on a train and go to DC. It's not too expensive. You could go to DC for the day and explore down there. You could even switch hotels at some point if you want to make it an even longer weekend. So there's options galore, I think, with option number one. Okay, so let me just look through this chat room before we go to option number two, because option number two is completely different. I mean, as different as they come. So let's see here. Let me go way back. Okay, so whoops, I clicked on something and now everything's moving except for the chat. Oh, my life with two screens. Okay, and two completely different computers. Whatever you choose, I hope it's not too far to walk. Ha ha ha, Larry, so cute, so funny. Let's see here. Yes, Ashley, you are in the house. Cool. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited. I actually almost forgot about it, and then I got like the text reminder. So that was cool. Come to Kentucky. We have horses. I do like Louisville. But I think I don't know. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I think I don't even know if I actually checked hotel prices there, but it's okay, Jeremy, because you can come to wherever we're having it. So, Davio's in the house. What's up, Davio? All right. So sunny in Philadelphia. We're definitely not having it in Philadelphia. No, I think there was something. One of my favorite stores in Philadelphia was having a sensual yoga and tantric massage kind of like a 101 class, and that store's in Philadelphia, and I was like, oh, maybe I can go back to Philly, but no, I'm boycotting Philadelphia for at least a while. I'm still a little butthurt. I haven't, just so you guys know, I have not heard if my ticket's been excused, dismissed, or if I still have to pay it. I have not gotten an email back. Very curious how that's going to turn out, but anyway, Jeremy says you might be able to do Maryland. Good. Good. I mean, and quite honestly, like BWI is a pretty affordable airport to fly into. I fly in and out of BWI all the time, and I have a lot of airports to choose from. So there's Dulles and Reagan that are outside of or Reagan's like right at DC. Dulles is outside of DC a little bit. We have Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and then BWI. And of course, you always have Philly as the option. Well, out of all five of those airports, BWI is always the cheapest airport to fly in and out of. Always, like never anything else is any cheaper. So I think a lot of people, if they do have to fly in, could afford to. Let's see here. All right. Doesn't look really like anything is major. Can we do Hagerstown? No, we can't, because it's too far from an airport. Not an option. You barely escaped a parking debacle, Holy. Yeah, no, I don't doubt it. I think I did tell a story about how my car got locked into a parking garage because it was closed on Sunday, and how in Baltimore, when you park your car and a place is closed on Sunday, they just put up the things so you can get out for free. Not in Philadelphia. They hold everything, they hijack everything. Shannon is solo, so be kind that she is not checking chat. Yeah, I'm all by myself. I mean, don't forget, guys, super chat is on. So if you really want to get my attention, you can always like pay to get my attention. And it makes me kind of sound like a sex worker, but okay. All right. So I'm giving up on chat. All right. I'm moving on. All right. So option number two. Yay. I mean, you, Ben, Ashley, you guys just made it to Florida. You can totally pull Maryland off. Definitely. Okay. So option number two, like I said, completely different. And I wasn't even thinking this. And Tyler actually messaged me this week and was like, we could do this. It would be so awesome. And I'm like, whoa, I don't know. It's so different. Like, this would be outside of my comfort zone. And I'm like, but it could be really fun. I think I've thought about it a little too much since he brought it up, and I went down the rabbit hole, and I'm like, this could be interesting. Okay. So this is ready. Everybody ready? Ready? I'm going to push the button. William Umber State Park in Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay. We could not get any more different than hotels and a casino and a shopping mall. than this. This is totally different. Okay. So what actually is it? So it is actually renting out a group of cabins. We would have our own little camp. Okay. And I got like a map of the camp. You can see it then. It's not as bad as I originally thought it was going to be, but it's pretty primitive. I mean, it's very primitive. But we're talking group cheap lodging. I mean, cheap group lodging. If somebody was a little too fancy, there are hotels that are not that far of a drive. You'd have to either Uber or rent a car for the trip or drive in. So you could stay at a hotel instead. Or they also have other campsites if you wanted to like pitch a tent. So you could do other things if you wanted to, and then just come for like group events and everything. But it is primitive. I mean, it is so primitive. There's limited electricity, if any. So the ranger that I talked to wasn't sure if the mess hall had electricity. He was like, well, now that I think about it, everything in there might just run off of gas. I don't even know if there's electricity there. I was like, what? Like, how am I going to charge my cell phone? But then I'm thinking, can I even get cell reception there? But it is really close to the airport. So I'm assuming that we can probably still get cell reception there. I don't know. I might have to send some of my North Carolina peeps to go check this out. But it is surrounded by nature. There's hiking, there's lakes. You can actually rent boats and go out on the lakes. You can go fishing, I guess, if you have a fishing license. I think the lake that we're closest to, and there's actually like a hiking trail, I think we can swim in that lake. So there's options. But here's one thing to think about. So this is outside and everything. There is, as you'll see, like there's cabins, primitive, basic cabins, and a mess hall where we can do cooking and food prep and stuff. But if it is during hurricane season, so you know, weather, who knows what the weather is going to be like when we go. Like that's one of those risks. Like we book it, you know, we set a date. If a hurricane comes through, you know, like I guess I'll still show up. I mean, I have no problem with weather, but it'll be an adventure nonetheless. So there's always that possibility that, you know, but then again, rain, outdoor stuff, it can always happen. The downside with this one, and I know I put pros, but you have to bring your own bedding, your own food, and your own supplies. This can be good and bad because, you know, you can bring your own comfy pillow, you can bring all the fancy food you like to eat, but not have to pay restaurant prices. You know, so you're going to have to bring all your stuff. So that might be hard for people who are flying. But you know, it is what it is. So that's if we go with this option. This is where the Uber was very highly fluctuating. So $20 most of the time. It did spike up to $40 when I just checked it about 6:30. So you know, Uber might be a little bit more costly in this airport, to this airport, but it is super close to the airport. It's like an 8-minute ride from the airport. It's not far at all. So, yeah, so that is that. So let me show you some pictures of this camp and like ideas. So the next one is just William Umstead State Park. You can see that there is like the big lake. That's where you can do boating, no swimming there. We're like the red arrow, obviously that's pointing to where Camp Crabtree is. Sorry, it's, you know, not Camp Aspen or something cool, but it's really close to Lake Sycamore, where I believe you can go swimming. So there's that. The next screen, this is what the cabins look like. All right, they're cabins, they have a roof, and they kind of have beds with mattresses, probably like the same kind of mattresses that you get to sleep on if you go to jail. But they are mattresses, but you'd have to bring your bedding. You'd have to bring everything, you know, so just think of this as you're deciding on which one you would prefer to do. Please note, like if we do this option, I will need to pay a $500 rental fee. Now, here's the cool part about this. The rental is from Monday to Sunday. So technically, whenever I can get my butt down there, we can start hanging out at this campsite. And I'm thinking in my head, if we do this option, I would probably drive down Wednesday. I would try to probably be down there by Wednesday. So if people want to slowly come in, that's cool. We could probably make that happen. And if you only want to come in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's fine. We'll all be set up and ready to go by the time you get there. I would ask everybody for a non-refundable $25 donation. So if you say you're coming and you give me $25, just to let you know, If anybody decided not to come, I'm keeping your $25 just because it's hard for me to keep track of stuff. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. It's a $25 donation, you know, and pretty much any excess money that we would acquire, that I would acquire through this, would go towards communal food, water, and alcohol. Now, here's the thing. On the state park website, it says no alcohol allowed in the state parks, but the ranger said we could have alcohol in the camp. So I would say this would be a caution that we'd have to somewhat behave ourselves if we're drinking, because we don't want to get in trouble. So I don't know. I can probably harass them again, just make sure before we book, but you know, because I know how important alcohol is to a lot of us when we're hanging out and socializing. Another thing to note is it does have quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. So this is like a true camping experience. So, you know, if you're an all night kind of person, you're going to have to learn how to be quiet, especially if you're drinking. If you do want to do larger donations towards this, you can always do that. You know, that's not a problem. Anything that I collect for this event will be used for the event. I'm thinking like bring in like cases of bottles of water, and I'm sure we have to take out or get rid of any trash. I don't know about the trash situation, but you know, like when you come here, I would say expect to think, you know, communal stuff. Yes, you can have your own food, your own drinks or whatever, hide it in your cabin. But I think having something for the group to kind of be able to pick at and stuff would be good too, group meals or whatever. So there's that. There looks like this is the map of Camp Crabtree. For some reason, I have a hard time saying that. I have a hard time saying a lot of things. So there looks to be like there's at least 17 or so cabins. There's unit A and unit B. So there's two different clusters of cabins. The cabins sleep anywhere from 2 to 4 people. There is a latrine shower building or thing. I don't know how big they are. I couldn't find pics at each one of those units. And then there is a mess hall. So I can't really find a lot of pictures for what this place looks like. I don't know what the mess hall looks like. I don't know what amenities it has in it. The ranger wasn't too helpful. So Lord only knows what we'd be getting ourselves into, but it would be an adventure. Okay. So it would be an adventure. And I would say, instead of trying to have people, you know, pay reserve and then pick a unit, I would say the easiest way to do this would be, when you get there, you get to go pick where you're at. That way you can look if anything's damaged or you don't like it. You know, I think instead of reserving a particular unit, you show up, you go figure out where you want to be, and that's where you are. I might change my mind on that if we decide to go this route. I don't know. I feel like it might just be easier, you know, to do it that way. Next one. Okay. So what you need to do as a community out there, you need to decide what the heck we're going to do. I do not want to make a decision. It was hard enough to make these 2 decisions, or 3, because I had to figure out like when we're going. So I need you guys to email me at suts@odioussoul.com, as seen here on the screen. What I want you to do is I want you to list both locations. Okay. So type out the word Baltimore, type out the word Raleigh, and put a note of which location you would prefer. And then also note if you would attend either one. So you might prefer Baltimore, but you might be willing to go to either Baltimore or Raleigh. So I did like an example, like, please do this. Like, yes, if it's in Baltimore, I'll attend. If it's in Raleigh, yes, I'll attend, but I would prefer doing Baltimore. And you can even mention why you prefer it. Like, that's fine too. I'm sometimes I'm nosy, and those kind of information is nice, but you don't have to put why. But if there's one option you definitely would not do, please put no, just so we kind of know and we can kind of get an idea of about how many people to expect, and just to see what you guys want, because that is uber important. If one of the last 2 weekends in September will not work for you, please note that in the email too. I will take that into consideration as well. So that's what you need to do. And that's it. Really. So, all right, let me go through here and see what we got. You guys have just been talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, and I have no idea where I left off. Don't say it's late May, early June. I'm in Turkey. No, Adam, it definitely won't be. September is when it is. I thought about maybe doing late July, but I actually called K-Pro last night because I kind of wanted to talk to her about some of this stuff just to see if there was anything I was forgetting, like anything, because she's done a couple events now. She's done a few of them. So just want to make sure like my train of thought, like I was considering all the stuff. And she was like, yeah, don't do July because a lot of people are going in June. So give people time to save up, have the money to be able to do another event. So we will definitely be doing it one of the last 2 weekends in September. Apollo, any place is dangerous after dark, especially if you're not used to being in a city. I mean, just with anything. I think I grew up going to Baltimore. My mom would put me on the metro station in Owings Mills. I told her I was going down to Fells Point to hang out with friends, and I did. What she didn't know was those friends were homeless. I made friends with all the homeless kids down in Fells Point in Baltimore, and I would take my $20, buy them all a pizza, and we would sleep on the piers. Like there were these abandoned piers. They're no longer there. Now they're high-rise apartments and fancy places that I could never afford to live in, but we would sleep on the piers, and it was awesome. But it also taught you, like, there's like swindlers, there's hustlers, like there's people you have to watch out for. And, it's even as a grown-up who's grown up in the city. Like I remember when Sammy was little, we used to have to go to Johns Hopkins Hospital all the time. And we would always take the metro and we would stop at Lexington Park Market. Lexington Park Market, if you guys don't know, it's some amazing food, great fried chicken. I mean, you can get food for cheap in that market, but it's very, very urban. We might be one of a handful of Caucasian people in that market when we went. And Sammy, as a young kid, loved to stare at people, but you can't stare at certain ethnicities. Like it's offensive. So, I mean, so as a kid, I would teach her, like, don't look them in the eyes. Like, that's not what you're supposed to do. Like, you're not supposed to do that. Like there's just certain protocols and, and as long as you know how to behave and act in certain places, you're fine. But you always have to be wary. Like, like you don't hold your purse in your hand. Like you hold it, strap it to you, get the carabiners, attach it to your belt. Like you just gotta be smart. Anyway, I like to go on random runoffs there. Let's see here. What else we got? Oh, Apollo likes the park idea better because it's closer. Yeah, I mean, Davio, like there are bathrooms. It says latrine and it says showers. So I'm assuming the showers have running water. Now there's other parts of the park where it says drinkable water. It does not say that this camp has drinkable water, but it does say it has showers. So I'm assuming that you can take showers with water. The latrine part, I don't know. Like that has me a little worried. Like, is it actually a toilet or is it a hole? So, and I couldn't find pictures. Now there is another camp, Lapiojo or something like that. There's a lot of pictures of that. And it's actually like toilet stalls and shower stalls. Now they're campground shower and toilet stalls. But yeah, so I don't know to the extent of what any of this stuff is. Like, I'm assuming the mess hall probably has a sink with running water. But like I said, the ranger wasn't super helpful. So if anybody is in the Raleigh area who wants to maybe go take a look at this place and see what it's like and find out more details firsthand, much appreciated. Let's see here. Option 2 sounds great. Wow, I'm surprised that there's a couple people that liked option 2. No, I'm just like, what? Maybe drink her favorite heart, but let's see here. And yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, like, when he first brought this up, I was like, man, this is super primitive, but we were a bunch of treasure hunters. If anybody's done boots on the ground searching for Forrest Fenn's treasure, we were in the wilderness. I know I peed in the woods. Like I have no problem peeing anywhere, really. If I'm drunk enough, I'll pee on the street. I have no problem squatting. So, but and I think of Cynthia. Like Cynthia can rug it out. I mean, she can handle it, but I once I started thinking about it, I was thinking we could have a lot of fun. And now that I know that the camp that is kind of more spaced out and there's a lot more cabins than I originally thought, I'm like, okay, well, maybe this isn't as bad of an idea as maybe I first thought of. So, it would be an adventure. And can I tell you the one thing that frightens me the most is all the pictures and videos. I'll be in nature. Like, I like showers. I like electricity to do my hair. Like, you won't see straight hair Shannon if we go to North Carolina. It'll be curly, or I'll be wearing a hat the entire time. It's a sad thing to be worried about, right? Let's see here. So, what else we got? I hate when I look at the chat and then I'm not talking to the video. Trouble is the best part. Oh man, I love getting into trouble. What can I say? Packer Jack, there will be no communal tattooing. If there's no electricity, we can't run tattoo machines unless somebody brings a generator. And I don't know if you're allowed to bring a generator. That's another good question to ask the ranger. I should start, like, if we actually choose this option, I need to make a list of all the questions I need to ask, asked permission. Let's see here. Well, Rudy, if there is no electricity, how will you do a movie screen? Unless we're all doing like maybe turning on a car light and then you have the screen in front and we're all in the middle, like doing shadow acting. We definitely need to find out if the mess hall has electricity, because then I can bring just a ton of extension cords and we can do all kinds of stuff. Yeah, the outhouses, I don't know. I mean, let me see here. Hold on a second. I'm going to stop screen share. Maybe I did not stop screen share. There we go. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can pull up that one of the things that I found and I can show you. That's not it. I was just on it and I closed all my tabs. Let me see this one. All right, so let me share screen again. All right, so I'm hoping this shows up. So this is the Camp Lappy Hio, it's twice as large as Camp Crabtree. I did not ask for prices. There's a lot more amenities here. So I don't even want to know the cost. I think a camp that holds 67 people should be fine. I don't foresee that many people coming. Or actually, I think Camp Crabtree holds 64 or something like that. I can't see that any more people coming than that. And if we do have more people, then maybe they just have to get campsites or stay at a hotel or something like that. But I honestly, I'm not predicting that there's that many people coming. So like this is the bathhouse that's over there. It's not too bad. This is a shower stall. All right, and this is from 2004. These are old pics. These are the cabins that are at the other camp, which looks similar to the ones at the Crabtree that I could find. Let's see here. Inside a 4-person cabin. Inside a 3-person cabin. Oh, look, somebody tagged it. Linda and Billy. Latrine, like it's actually a toilet. And it doesn't look like it just goes into a pit, which is nice. Unit latrine sinks. They look like they're outside sinks. And then this is the mess hall that's out in the other camp. Inside, tables. They have a fireplace. I think the guy said there was a fireplace in our mess hall too. I'm pretty sure. I'm talking about it like it's already ours. This is already decided. Kitchen. It looks like it has a full kitchen. It definitely has sinks. Stove does look like gas. And I think I do see like power outlets. Ooh, like those look like power outlets, right? They look like power outlets. So maybe there is electricity, at least in the mess halls. Pots, pans. So, I mean, we could get into trouble. Oh, they do have coolers and freezers. So there has to be electricity, right? I don't know. I think there are some propane stuff. But anyway, so that's what the other camp looks like. I mean, if a ton of you guys email me and it looks like there might be like 60 or more people, I can check to see how much the other camp costs. But I have a feeling I want to say it looks like it would probably be double, because it's double capacity. It holds up to 120. And Shannon is not putting out $1,000 to rent a camp. I am not a wealthy woman. I'm a poor girl. I'm a poor woman who has lots of debt. So I wouldn't want to risk all that. So, but anyway, so those are the options. And I'm going to throw back up that keynote because I just want to put the email address back up there. Share. Whoops. And then I'm going to push play. All right. So again, send me an email, suds@odiousold.com. Let's see here. Are they pit toilets, Holy? I don't know. They don't, I mean, at least they're toilets. At least they look like toilets. They look like they actually flush in there. But I like girls that squat. Carrie, if you like girls that squat, you would love me bowling. I went bowling with a friend last night. And it's she's an awesome friend. She's not a Chase community friend. But she is a therapist. And let me tell you what, I love our bowling nights because I feel like I'm getting a free therapy session. But you should see me bowl. When I bowl, when it's like I'm a horrible bowler. But when it lets go from my hand and I know it's going to be a strike, like I can feel when it lets go and it's going to be a strike. I like do this weird thing with my leg and then I squat down and I just wait for the strike. And then I jump up like, woo. I'm such an oversharer, but yeah, I love to squat. Let's see here. And just so you guys know, I know Tyler was saying that he used to go to William Umber for geocache meetups. So there might be some geocaches in the area that might be fun. And if we do pick that, like, no matter what place we're going to pick, I'm going to try to do some like extra little fun things for you guys to be on the lookout. When given the options, you'd pick Nashville. Well, so sorry, Minotaur. That's not going to happen. Asheville doesn't have an airport. I think the closest one is Greenville, South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's just too far for people to Uber, unfortunately. So that wasn't an option. Asheville is beautiful. I hear I had friends that just went there not that long ago and oh God, the food. Oh my God, the food. But yeah, so Asheville was off the table. Yeah, North Carolina is very central. The Baltimore's pretty much central too. I mean, like they're both okay. Like they're both pretty central. Give up on the straightening and embrace the curls. I did. Apollo, your hair isn't that curly. Like your hair is like wavy. No, my hair. Okay, so my hair is curly, but it's not like a kinky curl that keeps. It's like I'm curly when you get out of the shower. And if you don't put a ton of stuff in your hair, I'm going to frizz out and just be ugly. And it reminds me too much of the 80s. Like you forget, I lived through the 80s and the big hair, like when you had to like use a ton of hairspray and you tease everything up and you're like, arr. And that's what I think of when I see my curls, and I usually shower before bed. So when I wake up in the morning, like my bangs are all froed up and, I'm just, I look like I belong on a 1980s, rock album. It's terrible. Yeah. Don't know about a generator. Yeah. Like I have one of those, it's like a power converter for my car. I saw that Randy was like, car has 110 outlets. I don't know if you actually mean it has 110 outlets, but I have one of those things, like it goes in like a 12 volt, and like a cigarette lighter. Now we actually call it 12 volt because there's no cigarette lighters in them anymore. Shows you how old I am, but it actually, you plug it in and then it has, I think 3 or 4 outlets on it. So it actually converts the car energy to that. But if a car is if it's not running, you're going to end up draining the battery on it. And with the way gas prices are these days, God, I hope they're better by September. Mike, I have no idea. A lot of people have emailed me, messaged me on Facebook, texted me. I mean, I would say by the time we actually get there, I expect at least 20 people. But who knows? Who knows? I have no idea. I'm hoping there's a good turnout. I'm hoping for at least between 30 and 40. I don't really expect it to be huge. I don't expect it to be big like Vegas. I think it's going to be more intimate, which I'm not going to complain about, but yeah, I literally have no idea. So I would say 20 on a conservative estimate, 40 if this is really gonna happen to be awesome. So I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, Mary, like the cabins and shelter, like these are like they're off, like you have to go back roads to see them. I don't know. I'm sure I don't see Tyler in here tonight. So I don't know if he, or maybe I just haven't seen his name yet. But I'm sure, I know he stayed in cabins. I don't know if they were in one of these camps or if they were just other cabins that he rented out. Yeah, Randy, it is like summer camp. It'll be Camp Fenn. It'll be Camp Fenn. That's what it'll be. Maybe if we do choose this option, I'm going to need to make a sign. Oh my God, wet, hot American summer vibes. Oh, that's hilarious. Lit. You don't have that term here? You had to Google it? Oh my gosh. You Brits over there. If we do cabins, we need a cabin poker tournament. Well, we could, I was thinking like, I know I have poker chips and cards. If we all just bring like our poker sets, we could completely have a poker tournament in the mess hall. I mean, the mess hall is big enough. Totally do it. Faucets and spigots. I love that word spigot. I grew up with that word spigot. And it reminds me of my grandfather, and you never really see it written, and it looks so funny written. And when you actually sound it out, spigots, it's just ridiculous. But anyway, do love it. You don't have to worry about Bigfoot and Mothman. No, we don't have to worry about Bigfoot and Mothman here. I'm thinking like Mothman. I don't even know where Mothman's at. So Apollo, there was 40 in the tournament, but then, like there was a ton of people who didn't play in the tournament who were surrounding. Like my estimate for Vegas is probably high 80s to 100, because there were people, that came out for different events that weren't there for the tournament. And then people who just showed up before the tournament and then left, like DeCall Thomas, he showed up for the tournament and then left. There was what Nathan and Adrian, I'm probably screwing up your names, I'm so sorry. It's because you don't use them on Facebook. Like they showed up on Fremont Street, and that was the only time we saw them for the entire event. There was a lot of people that you saw pop up and then you never saw them again, so I would say that they were definitely at high 80s to 100 easy at Vegas. At one point or another, coming and going. So Mothman is for West Virginia. I was like, I'm going to have to like search what Mothman is, because now I don't even remember. Not venture that far south. Okay. Good to know he doesn't venture that far south. I'm not afraid of any of that stuff. I mean, honestly, if I see a ghost, if I saw a Bigfoot, if I saw Mothman, I would be so excited, because I like experiences. I like stories that I get to tell people. I am a story person. So here's a really funny story, actually. So I like to talk a lot, and I have a lot of stories, and when I want to be, I can tell them in a very funny manner. And so I was thinking, I've been watching a lot of female comedians lately. I'm thinking like, I could do this. If I prepped my stories, I could be a comedian. So like, I just get wild ideas all the time, like searching for Forrest Fenn's treasure. Just like ideas come to me and I'm like, oh, well, let me go and do this now. So my daughter comes home and I tell her that I started to make a list. Whoops, I completely lost Zoom. Okay. I was telling my daughter I was making a list of all the ideas I had for a comedy bit. And she was like, that is so funny, actually. And I was like, really? Why? She's like, well, in college, in one of my classes, we had to pick a topic out of the hat. And my topic was, if you had a late night show, who is the one person you would invite on, to talk with? My daughter thought about it and she said, my mother. And I was like, really? You said me of everybody that in the world? Because it had to be somebody living. And she's like, yeah. She's like, it's because you always want to talk and you always want to talk to me. And you're getting to that age where you're telling the same stories over and over and over again. So if I had you on the show, you'd have a brand new audience of people to tell your stories to. I thought it was awesome. So I thought it was great. So, I mean, yeah, I probably never will do a comedy thing, but maybe that is my new YouTube thing. Maybe I'll just do 5, 10 minute, 20-minute sets on YouTube, like just do videos of stupid comedy where nobody's laughing at me because I'm just doing them on video in my house. It's an idea. There's so many ideas, way too many ideas. In all seriousness, you really think we could get 40 to 60 searchers to come east? I mean, I think it would be awesome. There's a lot of East Coast people that have never been to any events, even if they just show up for the day. I think that there is potential there, and we could have a lot of fun. And K-Pro is just now finally joining us. Welcome, K-Pro. Might have name dropped you earlier. But yeah, I mean, it would be cool because it is a cheaper option to do North Carolina. And people could easily come in and out. If I check in on a Wednesday, we have Wednesday to Sunday, and then people could come and go as they wanted to. So, Apollo, my daughter, is so freaking amazing. She has inspired me to be more active. She's inspired me to eat better. She's inspired me just to be a better person, in all honesty. And I take her judgments of me very seriously. Holy, honestly, I would say no kids, especially if we're doing camping. Maybe this is something that everybody could email if they want to bring kids, or maybe we could do something where kids are welcome Saturday during the day, but no camping with the kids at the actual camp. And I say that just because I know how inappropriate I am. And I know there's a lot of inappropriate people. And if we're drinking in the woods, Lord only knows what kind of inappropriate shenanigans. And, if you are a person who doesn't have little kids and you want a good time away and you're drinking in the woods and you feel like you want to be crazy, and then you have to be responsible because there's an 8-year-old little boy staring at you. So yeah, I would definitely say, include that in the email if you would like to bring kids. Include it in the email if you think kids should be included. So, I mean, or maybe we have an age limit of what the youngest is allowed to be. I mean, all that's up for options. I would say if we do Baltimore, you could completely bring your kids. You just can't bring them into the casino if we have any events there. So I think it just depends on where we end up and all that fun stuff. So nudity, language, and puking. Can I just say, I did not get naked in Vegas, except in my hotel room when I was changing, or in the shower, obviously. I definitely cursed a whole hell of a lot. And I did not puke once in Vegas. I am very proud of myself, patting myself on the back. I got a little tipsy a couple of times, but I did not puke. I was very surprised by that. Maybe it was those large Americanas with the extra shot of espresso. That was what was really funny, is I was thinking there was just a shot of espresso in a large Americana, and I was asking for an extra shot. And then the guy that I'm dating who drinks Americana, he's like, they were larges? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, you realize that had 3 shots in it. And then with the extra shot, that was 4 shots of espresso. And I'm like, well, it's really good to know that my shaking was probably from the caffeine and not from the lack of alcohol every morning. So anyway, all right. So what time is it? What time is it? Oh, it's not even 9 o'clock. Okay. So yeah, so we have the options. We have Baltimore, we have Raleigh, we have hotels and casinos and a shopping mall. Like I said, it's a very large shopping mall. It's not like your typical shopping mall. It's like it's it's a destination mall, with things like medieval times and Dave and Buster's, things that cost money. And then we have the camping experience, really close to the Raleigh Durham, whatever that airport is, um, in the heart of North Carolina. So two completely different options. And I'm excited to see Apollo. I am not dating Eric. Okay. That is hilarious. And it's funny. Yes, he caught me really off guard with a question on my last live show. But no, we are not dating. I have never met Eric in person. And actually, we haven't talked for a while. Like we still text every once in a while, but no, I am not dating Eric. That's hilarious though. What? Jeez, people, like, you want to see me turn red again? Like, is that what you guys want? Look, I'm already blushing. Okay. But no. Eric has a life. He lives in Arizona. If you don't know me by now, I am way too needy to ever have a long distance relationship. Okay. Like, I need frequent and constant physical attention. Okay. In order to maintain any kind of relationship with anybody. So there you go. Just an FYI. Okay. I of course I'm going to get red because you're talking about Eric, and I'm thinking about the hotel question that he popped on the live show, which was hysterical. I was not expecting that question. We had not talked like that kind of stuff. So when he said that, it just threw me so off. And then I was like, well, obviously I don't have to worry about me wanting to touch you. I wanted to say it, but my mouth was like, was so afraid I was going to say it wrong and do like a Freudian slip or something, So, but anyway, Minotaur Hooley lives in Maryland with me. She's a Maryland girl. Whoop, whoop. Yep. She lives like an hour and 10 minutes from me. And yet we still have not had, food together. It was so cute. She messaged me that she had dinner or lunch, I think, with some work colleagues like 10 minutes from my house one day. I was very upset that I didn't get an invite, even though I know it was a work meeting. But yeah, the dating game show, right? No, that was not the dating game show. Jeez Louise, guys. Wait, you wanted to no, I do not want to touch him. I wanted to make sure I didn't screw up my words, because I screw up my words when I speak all the time. And that was one question I did not want to mess up the answer to. Yeah. So anyway, so going back to Baltimore, like there is a Residence Inn at the like outside of the mall area. It's like right on the loop, and it has like a really cool outdoor space. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that not everything would have to be in the mall and the casino. I figured maybe one of the nights we could hang out at the hotel, and just, bring your own alcohol, bring your own beverage, whatever it is, whether it's water or other stuff. And that way, keep costs down for everybody. So, all right. Well, anyway, I'm gonna start wrapping this up because I feel like I'm still a little bit bright in the face after thinking about all that. But no, I am dating people. I think I talk about people all the time that I'm dating. That's not true. I'm only dating one person. And then we're not going to go there. So, and Christy knows who I like. She could throw his name in the chat. So it's not like it's a secret. I think actually on the K-Pro Corner show where we did with Dark, I think I was like, go ahead, K-Pro, name the puppy. And she named him on that show. So if you do not know the name of the guy that I am dating and seeing and like, you could always go over to K-Pro's Corner and find that hilarious live show that we did. Yeah. Yes, Adam. So Adam just put in the chat, not long till August, Shannon. Yeah. So I told my illegal husband in August, like middle August, August 10th, 17th, something like that, that I wanted to move forward with the annulment and I wanted him to move out. So I set myself, I said, you are not allowed to get into a relationship and commit to anybody for a year. I am treating this year like rehab, okay? Because I'm addicted to relationships. I have a problem. I have an issue. I don't like being alone. I'm needy. I think I just already said that. I'm needy. I like the physical attention. So I like consistency and frequency. So it's easy just to attach to somebody who you physically connect with. It's really easy. So I tend to jump from relationship to relationship, but then I also get in trouble because then I like people for the physical stuff and not necessarily for who they are. So I was like, no, you're going to take a year. You're going to figure out exactly what you're looking for, exactly what you want. And you're going to be smarter this time because the last two relationships did not end on best terms. The one guy almost killed me in a hotel room, and the other guy was still married to a second wife that he lied to me about having. So before I commit to anybody, I have to make sure that I'm using my brain and not other parts of my body to get myself into the relationship. But yes, but August, I can't believe it's been like 7 months already or something. I think I did a post on Facebook not that long ago that I can't believe it's been 7 months. It's like August is just right around the corner, which is amazing. It's amazing that I've almost made it. Shannon's gap year. Oh, I'm not touching that. I'm so bad. I'm so naughty. My brain just goes immediately into the toilet, goes immediately into the gap every single time. So, you know what? Let's go for a walk. Let's talk about feet size here. It does not matter what size a foot a guy has. All right. It depends on how a guy uses the foot. All right. Any foot can be nice. There's some feet that'll land you in a hospital. There's some feet that are just, not impressive, but most feet are going to be fine as long as they know how to use it. Yeah. Never gonna look at feet the same way, are you? Let's see here. Wait, I just now saw I didn't answer what. Remember, if I'm not answering a question, if I'm not seeing it, you can always do the super chat so I can obviously see it because, I'm so terrible at talking to this computer and looking at that one for chat. Well, yeah, feet are no indicator in what the feet are supposed to be indicating. I mean, really, that does not matter. Any of them can be used, and it just depends on talent and skill and how you're using them, and no, Adam, we're not talking about feet. Jesus Christ, obviously. Jeremy, I just tend to get off track every single time. We always talk about the same thing. You bring up certain things to me and I just can't help but run with it. So maybe that's what I need to start doing more shows on instead. But I think it's better to get you guys in for something so sweet and innocent as an East Coast meetup and then derail the conversation at the end. That's a lot more fun, isn't it? It's like I get you warmed up. It's kind of like foreplay. I get you warmed up with something nice and easy, and we're being gentle. It's kind of like date night, and then all of a sudden, okay, the date's over. Are we going to your house or mine? Oh, Lordy. Okay, so I think that's all before I get myself into any more trouble. Randy, we got onto that topic because of Let's Go for a Walk. He threw a question in chat. He asked me size of a guy's foot. No, K-Pro, we did not decide on any location yet. So let me share a screen one more time. What we decided on is that people are going to send me an email to it's at odioussoul.com. The choices are Baltimore, which are like hotel, casino, shopping mall, completely different than the Raleigh, which is primitive, camping, rugged. We're not even sure there's electricity environment. Okay. So completely different. Raleigh would be a lot more affordable for people. Baltimore would ensure that you have access to hot showers and your own private toilet in your hotel room. So you got to pick which one you want. Please send me an email. List both locations in that email. List Baltimore and Raleigh, and then next to them, put which one you would prefer going to. And then if we chose the place that you do not prefer, are you still willing to come, even though it's not your preferred location? Also, please note if you would want to bring children and how old those children are. Or if you don't have kids or you don't want to bring your kids, put no, please don't allow kids at this event. So whatever thoughts you have on kids, please put that in there. Like my mind immediately goes to no kids for camping. But you know, it's what the community wants overall. So I'll take everybody's feedback and then we'll figure out location. Like I said, this event will be one of the last 2 weekends in September. So if there is a weekend you prefer or a weekend you definitely could not make it, please note that in the email to me as well. That's kind of where we left it off, K-Pro, like still to be determined, but we're down to 2 locations. No more options will be considered at this point. We have 2. We're just gonna stick to it. They're the most affordable I could find in today's market of crazy post-COVID or 2 years after COVID started, because apparently we might still have another wave coming around. 2 years after COVID started, travel pricing. So yeah, but again, thank you guys so much for hopping on. As always, I appreciate our time together. I know I can be bad and naughty and all that stuff, but thank you for tolerating me through all that. And I can't wait for this meetup because I had so much fun in Vegas. I had so much fun meeting everybody. I had so much fun. I was so happy the entire time. Like there was maybe like the one time where I was stressed out, freaking out about somebody, but they were okay. It all ended up okay. But besides that, like I had a blast the entire time. And I can't wait to get together with this community again and do it again. It's kind of weird, you know, when how many times do you try to explain our community to friends and family that you have? It's hard because they're like, wait, so you go to somewhere where you don't know anybody, like you only know them from the internet. And like, yeah, but we're friends. Like we talk every day. Like we comment on each other's Facebook posts, you know, like there's blogs and you know, there's like forums and there's YouTube channels and they're just, they look at you like you're a crazy person, but they don't understand what they're missing. They don't, you know? So, yep. Yeah, actually the last live show, the one with Eric, one of my employees, one of my brand new temp sourcers, he watched that live show. And the next day I got a message from him. It was work. We started talking about work through texting. And then he's like, oh yeah. And then last night there was that one point where I couldn't tell where your hair ended and your face began. And I was like, oh my God, you saw that. But you know, it's fun when like people who do not know our community come into it and then they say, wow, like this is a pretty legit, awesome group of people. It's like they want to be involved. They want to be a part of it. And that's kind of cool. So anyway, yeah, no dogs either. I don't think dogs are allowed at this campsite. I'll double check because I know there are some campsites that are pet friendly. I don't know if the private camps are. I'd have to double check. I know there was like a little thing. There was like a little chart and it had like little doggies. So I'll double check that. Once we lock in where we're going, we can definitely, you know, check all the details and then have them posted and everything. Yeah, no kids, no goats for sure. And thank you, Apollo. Yeah, like I will say, like honestly, it wasn't my idea, really. It was Greg, Dark, and Carter, neither of whom joined me this evening. Just saying, bros, where you at? I know my life has been super busy the last few weeks with work and everything, and like our communication back and forth has just been really spotty. And I was like, I'm throwing up YouTube on Wednesday night because the rest of my week is like book solid. I have something to do every single night this week. And so I was like, Wednesday's the only night we gotta get working on this. We got to get this locked in. So, but anyway, yeah. So you can actually thank those guys. I know Dark's been trying to do an East Coast meetup for a while. And then I think I was drunk in Vegas and I was like, you know what? Let's do this. We got this, bros. We can make this happen. So anyway, all right. Let's see here. Camping is like boots on the ground, and what Fenn wore. Yes. I mean, that is so true. Yes. Like Forrest Fenn wanted us to get out into nature. So, I mean, technically we should do the camping thing. You know, like I said, I look so cute with straight hair. Wait till you guys see me all rough and rugged in the wilderness. You gotta think differently of me. uh, you know what? I would love to get Holly to go as a special guest. I mean, everybody wants to meet Holly. I mean, I don't think she realizes how popular and mysterious she really is. Like, everybody loves her. Like, everybody loves her, and everybody wants to know what she looks like. So, Holly, what can we do to get you to come out to an event? I mean, that would be awesome. I would love for her to show up. Oh my gosh. Heck, I just want her to have dinner with me, for God's sakes. Geez, or drinks or something. Like, I'm even willing to go all the way out there. Oh, girl, in the line of work you're in, there's no way you can be that shy. Yes, Holly. Yes. Uh, see, look, Holly, look at all the love. Everybody who's watching, if you love Holly, please tell her how much you love her in the chat right now, and how much you would, how honored you would be to be in her presence. Just make sure you know that. Tell her that, like, right now in chat, please. Let her know. Beg her, show her love, show her support. Let's get her to come to the East Coast meetup. Yes. Okay. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, that's enough. It is 9:06. I'm trying to keep these short. Oh, because life is way too busy. Guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to email me, sots@odiasoul.com. You can also send me a DM on Facebook. If we're not friends, please send me a friend request, because I don't always see the DMs unless we are friends. And I don't think you can friend request me unless we have a friend in common. So I do apologize about that. If that's the case, then that's your sign to email me. And you can always send me a link to your Facebook profile, and I can always go friend request you, just saying. So anyway, guys, have a great night. Thanks again for everything. Of course, now I got to figure out how to end this stream. Like, I'm very proud of myself. I've gotten better at scheduling them and actually starting them on, like, the link that I started. Like, I'm very proud that I finally figured that part out. But then it's like, okay, well, time to end. And then I got to figure out how to end it. Oh, here's the button. Bye.